you turn to the gods, and yet you do not plead. You do not kneel to dust your heads with ash. Instead you wail, why have the gods forsaken us? We must look into the trials we failed long ago. In a time past, our world intertwined with another through an upheaval scholars call the conjunction of the spheres. The gods allowed unholy forces to slip into our domain. The offspring of that cataclysm was the nefarious force called magic. Yet we did not banish it, instead studying the vile arcane for our own power and wealth. And the monsters at our door, the unholy relics of this conjunction, the trolls, the corpse eaters, the werewolves, did we raise our swords against them? Or have we laid this burden on others? On so-called witches. Stray children taught the ways of foul sorcery, their bodies mutated through blasphemous ritual. Sent to fight monsters, though they could not distinguish good from evil. The flicker of humanity, long extinguished within them. Yes, their numbers have dwindled through the years, but a few still roam our lands, offering their bloody work for coin. To this day they shame us with their very existence. The North bleeds, flogged by war. The battles are the gods' whip, chastisement for our sins. And let us not forget the terrors, the scourges from beyond our world. The wild hunt rides the sky with every full moon. The dark raiders abduct our children into lands unknown. Some say they herald a second conjunction. Can we chart a course back into the light? Will we find the strength to banish the mages from our kingdoms? Unite around the warmth of the eternal fire. Nigh is the time of the sword and axe. None will fight this war in our stead. Nigh is the time of madness and disdain.
Well, it's not the time of madness and disdain, but it's the time of, boy, that didn't go as planned. I didn't change a thing. I did not change a thing before I went live just now, except for turning off OBS. Oh, you know what? I did. I updated OBS. I just realized that. I updated OBS, and that screwed up the DLive connection. Let me start at the beginning first. I start the stream, and then I start checking the four streams: YouTube, Trovo, DLive, and Twitch. And the YouTube stream didn't start, but I realized immediately what the problem was because I had forgotten to reset the stream and schedule the next one, which means I have to start a whole new one and go directly live. But when you do that, it changes the stream key. So I had to stop the YouTube stream that was technically going but had not connected, and then update the stream key, and then restart the YouTube stream. So that's why the YouTube stream started after the cinematic had already started. So then I checked Trovo. Trovo's fine. And as I was getting to Twitch, I had to go through DLive, and DLive wasn't working at all. Oh, great. Well, I didn't think of it, honestly, until I just mentioned it, 20 seconds ago. I never thought of it that I had updated OBS, and that probably changed the stream key to a previous save. So I have had this happen before in other circumstances, so I stopped the stream for DLive, which is the main stream on OBS, by the way. I have a plugin written by the brilliant Sora Yuki, who created the ability to multi-stream on OBS, which saves me $50 a month, because that's the cost for the cheapest of the multi-stream services out there. And trust me, as much as I love to multi-stream, I don't make $50 a month at all. I make $50 every 3 months, give or take, most often. Not that I'm complaining. I'm happy to get whatever y'all send my way. I'm very honored that you would even think of being with me, much less sending lemons or mana or whatever gems my way. Trust me, it's more than honorable. Just that you're here, honoring, I should say, just that you're here, honorable. But with even if you have to start the mainstream on OBS, the one that you normally the only one you use, the others keep going. Again, a brilliant piece of work by Sora Yuki. Sora Yuki. Sora Yuki. If you're an OBS fan and you want to multi-stream, look that up and get the install. It's a little tricky. You might have to play around with it a little bit. One quick thing for you to understand: you can test it the first time by starting one of the auxiliary streams first. But after that happens, you have to start the main stream first, the stream from the left side of OBS. You have to start that first before you can start any of the add-ons. That's a little trick I learned the hard way. It took me forever to figure that out. But that's not in any of the documentation. The other thing is, when you install the code, you may have to remove that piece of code from your C drive, wherever you keep it for OBS. Take it off your C drive, add the code to it, and then move it back to the C drive, because sometimes your C drive permissions are such that it won't let the extractor system put that code into the file. But if you move it off the C drive onto like your desktop, extract the zip file into it, and then put it back, you're fine. Otherwise, you have to change all your permissions, and some people don't know how to do that. It's easy, but it can screw things up if you don't put it back. It can allow people access to your C drive that you may not want. Anyway, so I grabbed the new stream key from DLive, which you have to go through a CAPTCHA picture match in order to do that. Grabbed the new stream key, and boom, DLive started. And until I started talking to y'all, I had completely forgotten to check Twitch. So I don't know how that happened. Twitch worked the first time, so God bless America. All right, so welcome everyone. Welcome back, and hello, 46 and 2. So nice to see you as always. We are about to embark along a path we were on yesterday in the land of 1,000 fables. We are with Sienna, the sister of Duchess Anna Henrietta, who has set a hired vampire in a murder rampage, killing 4 knights from the court of Duchess Henrietta in retaliation and revenge for their mistreating her badly as they banished her from the Duchy of Toussaint because she was she's an evil child. Let's just put it that way. She's an evil child, and they thought she was cursed, and so they sent her on her way to die in the woods. And she was seeking her revenge by tricking a higher vampire, Detlef, into thinking she, who had been a love of his in a previous life, a previous part of their lives, she had been kidnapped, and the kidnappers were forcing him to kill, when in fact she was duping him the whole time. So now we have tracked down Sienna after she has been brought to the court. She was hidden away in an illusion that a mage had made for Henrietta and Sienna when they were children. It basically is every children's fable you can think of: The Emperor with No Clothes, Puss in Boots, Pied Piper of Hamelin, The Three Little Pigs, The Three Bears, and Goldilocks and the Three Bears, the Witch with the Gingerbread House, or Hansel and Gretel, if you will, although we only see Hansel, and The Boy Who Cried Wolf. Also the Little Match Girl, although in this game she's the Little Flint Girl. And the Little Flint Girl is where everything hinges, because there is a ribbon that used to belong to Sienna that the Little Flint Girl has, and it is magic. If you take the ribbon from the Little Flint Girl, either by winning a game of Gwent against her or by paying her 500 crowns, you give that to Sienna, and when she is attacked by Detlef, she escapes automatically back to the land of 1,000 fables. Boom, she's back there, and she can't get out without someone's help, which is what we're doing right now, helping her get out. Previous to the attack, Detlef tries to attack her in revenge for what she's put him through and what she's made him do. But if you don't give her the ribbon, then something else happens. And so I had to go all the way back to just the spot before we talked to the little Flint girl, again, known in my version of the story as the little match girl, before we talked to her, who has, by the way, graduated to selling all tobacco products and drugs, because girls got to make a living, I guess. And so the fairy tales are breaking down over time due to entropy, so things are happening like that. But she's quite the little girl. So if you don't take the ribbon, then things happen. And we just finished up with her not taking the ribbon. And so Sienna and I are on our way through the world looking for 2 more of the 3 magic beans we need to grow the giant the giant stalk and climb out to the top of the clouds and get out of this kingdom. And we've already found one of the beans in the home of the 3 little pigs, the brick home. We were able to knock it down with our telekinetic sign and find the bean. We've got 2 more to go. We just rescued the goose who lays the golden eggs. She laid us an egg, by the way, golden eggs. They're very kind of her. And so now we are on to, we've got the 3 bears, Grandma's house at the Little Red Riding Hood, and 3 bears. No, I think that's it, actually. I think those are the only ones we've got left, the other 2 beans. So we are on our way. So, folks, let us stop listening to me blabber along, and we'll get to it. By the way, once we finish this 3rd and final ending of Blood and Tears, pardon me, Blood and Wine, Blood and Tears, Blood and Wine, I will be going back. It may take me a little while to find it, but I will be going back to the save where we have the final end with in Hearts of Stone DLC, and I'll play the other 2 endings from that. I played the ending where I finished the riddle given by Gone to Rodeo, tricked and caught him at the end. There are 2 other ways to play that, and I'm going to do that, and then we'll be done for the day. No show tomorrow as we're installing fiber internet. Well, our ISP is, but I'll be helping set up the network. And then Tuesday I'll be back, Tuesday morning, 8 a.m. Eastern, and we'll start Far Cry 5. I should be all ready for that. And we're going to have a lot of fun. We're going from the land of fantasy and swords to the land of ATVs and sniper rifles. So it's going to be completely different than what we're doing now. Completely different. By the way, looks like my PC setup is able to run pretty much everything in Ultra. I just can't run it at 4K and get decent frame rates. I have to back off to basically 3K, 2580 by whatever. I can't run at the 3860. But otherwise I get great frame rates, so we'll be good to go. The viewing should be quite spectacular. All right, off we are. And of course we have unicorns to ride. So let's see. The 3 bears. Oh yeah, we've talked to what's going on here? Oh wait, I see. Let's see. Is it the 3 bears? Let's see where that's at. Okay, that's there. Now we'll try to do these things. For some reason the V key isn't working. Give me just a second. Let me try alt-tabbing in and out. There we go. What does the V key do, you might ask? The V key switches through the various quests and side quests you have inside of the whatever you're doing. So there's that. All right, it's pretty close, so we can just go on foot. Although, let me see if I can call my unicorn, because there was something cool with it last time. Nope. The last time it was wearing Olive Roach's armor and saddlebags. It's not now. No need to grab it. We've got a pretty short run to get to where we need to go. All right, this is Grandma's house. Okay, so here's Let's do a hard save here. All right.
Hello? Can we talk?
Schwumbroch, my head! Damn it all! I swear that was the last time I drank with Redbeard. Oh, Sienna, a bloody long time it's been. You've changed.
Whereas you, not at all, big bad wolf. Though it seems you've started running with the wrong crowd.
And who should I run with, eh? Thumbelina? One shot and she's under the table. But, what brings you?
You could always have a drink with us.
Oh, what? No! Not on your life. I can barely stand, I'm so hungover.
You know what they say about the hair of the dog?
Out of the question. And why must you drink? Do you wish to drown some sorrow? And I don't mean to pry, but you don't look much like a young duchess to me.
They stripped me of my title and birthright, then banished me. A family spat, let's say.
Listen, looking for magic beans. Seen any?
I was given one for safekeeping, but...
Where is it? Talk!
Shh, not so loud.
Oh, I can be much louder than this. And resort to other means of persuasion.
Right there, the threats. Sienna to a T. Listen, I exist to restage a fairy tale. If you want to play at it, I'll be happy to oblige. But it won't be easy. The thing is, Little Red Riding Hoods popped her clogs.
What?
1,000 times they cut my gut open, filled it full of rocks and drowned me in the river. So once you stopped coming, I decided to repay the little imp for all her loving labor. Who'd know what's at the bottom of the well? She and the hunter, which means we can't play, and I'm under no obligation to talk to you, not about beans, nor anything else. So leave me be. Sod off.
I have to pause it here. I just saw a notice from Fox News. I didn't have my iPad open earlier from a couple hours ago. There was a big pileup on an Alabama, I guess interstate, it must have been, and I guess it was raining heavily and there was a huge accident. According to the thing I got on my iPad from Fox News, 10 people are dead, including, I hate to say this, but including 9 children. I don't know what was going on there, that there would be so many children who died. But if I see any more about that, I'll try to bring it to your attention if it comes through. But my God, what a horrible tragedy. Just horrible.
Wolf's pretty cranky.
Surprised? Think about it. He was cast in the role of the Nemesis without ever asking for it. It's a dog's life, I tell you.
So, what now?
Don't worry. I'll play with him. Or rather, play him. I just need that little red hood. The piece of apparel, that is. Not the poor girl's corpse.
That's a relief.
You wish to help me? Here's your chance. Jump in the well and fish it out. Well, chop chop.
All right. Time to jump in the well.
Break a leg.
I should take killer whale. Alright, let's see where. Right below me. Anything else down here? Well, that appears to be everything. That taken care of.
Any luck?
Yep, look what I got.
That would never fit you. Give it to me.
What is that? A
How do I
rooster
look?
riding a rooster riding a cat, riding a dog, riding a donkey? Or an ass? I can't quite tell the difference. I think it's an ass, actually. But I don't know that one. Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, that's an ass. Yeah. Huh. Interesting. Let's see. All right.
Not bad. Not bad at all.
Let's go see the big bad wolf.
Let me guess. You'll play the granddaughter.
And you, the hunter.
You again? I thought I was clear. I will not talk to you if Little Red Riding Hood is not with you.
Not a problem. Sienna can take her place.
What? Very well. It's not as if I can forbid you. Granddaughter, come closer, sweetie.
But Grandmama, what big eyes you have.
Better to see you with, my dear.
Granny, what big arms you have.
The better to embrace you with, my dear.
And Grandmama, what big teeth you have. Eh?
The better to eat you with, my dear.
And fierce.
I gotta get some cursed oil on my sword. Alright, where is that? There it is. Third try. Alright.
I shall butcher you.
That's all that. Shoot. Trying to get my Ken sign up. There we go. As soon as I get it up, it's gone.
Ugly and fierce.
This guy's fierce. Fast, too. Gotta slow it down. Took a lot out of it, though. Missed. Oh, there we go. There we go. Didn't like the northern wind, did you?
Said about the red bean. A human has it, and he definitely didn't swallow it.
Gotta open his belly. Bottle caps, fake teeth, a corkscrew. Ah, here it is. Red bean.
Well then, one step closer to our goal.
What?
I find myself wondering if you're just horribly discreet, or if those mutations completely scrubbed away your curiosity. Are you really not interested in what happened? In what became of me after they cast me out?
Well, since you brought it up, I'd gladly hear the rest. Let's see. They had escorted you out of the duchy.
Yes, and the noble knights of Toussaint, I didn't stop until we reached the Ketdu wilderness. They left me there alone, without a copper, in a torn lace dress, right when the frosts were setting in. They assumed something would eat me, or that I'd do everyone a favor and die of hunger. But as always, I failed to live up to expectations. I wandered the woods for a week, went purple from the cold, gnawed the bark from twigs. Finally, I saw a light among the trees. A campsite. They were bandits, bearded, drunk, spattered with blood. I was sure they'd rape me or kill me. Or both.
Take it neither happened?
That's when I learned a robber and a murderer can be a better man than a knight in shining armor. They took me in, we set off for Nazaire, and I did what I could to repay them. I advanced in their ranks rather quickly. Eventually, I became their leader. Of the whole ragged band.
Been through a lot.
I have. And throughout this time, my sister was stomping grapes and shagging minstrels on down bedding.
She wasn't the one to banish you.
And I'm not angry at her for that. I'm angry at her because she forgot about me.
Right. We've had our chat. Come.
All right. Let's see. 3 bears. But, oh yeah, it's right close. Just through the gate here.
Three bears.
3 stools, 3 beds, 3 bowls.
One a bit too big, the other too small, the third just right.
Oops. Missed something.
Blonde curls. Rest of the body's too mutilated. Hard to say anything.
She got what she deserved, as I see it. Always took what she wanted without asking.
No bean here. Gotta keep looking.
By the way, you can look here. You've got the, I think I can get closer. If I steal any food, they'll come after me. But here's where we've got the papa bear. Here's the baby bear. And there's the mama bear. Oh, what do we hear? A little stuffed... Ha! A stuffed bear! A bear with a stuffed bear. I love it. Alright, we're out of here. I don't want to fight them again. They're tough. They are very, very tough. Alright, it's time to... Oh, there's the Pied Piper Hamlin. Let's let him go by. Walked into me, dude. Horse is in the way. See how this works out. That looks like he's stuck. Alright, let's move on then. Talk to Longlocks. That's, oh no, more pixies? What have we got here? Ah! There you go, all them. Oh, I didn't even see him. I was looking at Ray.
You like that silver?
I was looking at Ray. I didn't even notice that guy. Oh, the horse moved. They got the Pied Piper on his way. There goes one of the rats. No, that's a rabbit. Sorry, those are rabbits. Rats don't hop like that. Alright, so, there's Longlocks. I believe we've got to go this way. Yep, there's the tower. Yep. Alright, that's where we go.
Will-o'-the-wisp. Think it's got something to show us.
Careful. It's not to be trusted.
Let's follow this, see what it does. Hadn't done this before.
Knight's strange. Doesn't look like he's out of any fairy tale I know. Wonder how he got here.
In past times, Henrietta and I would occasionally run into them here. You see, knights errant far outnumber princesses in the real world, so some knights would sneak into the playroom, then into this land, in search of their fairy tale damsels. That's all.
Only to be shredded to bits by a swarm of pixies. Irony's delicious.
Yeah, I never came across this guy before. What have we got here? A sword named Vetus. Let's take a look at it. Vetus. Nice sword! Holy cannoli. Not as good as mine in some aspects, but better in others. Does a lot more damage, and you get a bunch of extra intensity on signs. That it would take away my my bonuses, and I don't need a steel sword right now. I'm not fighting any humans. It's all fairy tale creatures. But wow, that is a bitchin' sword. I'll definitely hang on to that for the New Game Plus, folks. We're going to be letting the credits roll all the way through on this one, so I can keep this sword because I'm really going to want it come my New Game Plus playthrough. Definitely going to want it. All right, and we had the knight to loot too. What have we got here? Oh, armor. Interesting. Let's take a look at this armor. Sorry, dude. Boy, he's purple. He doesn't look good at all. Let's see here. Ooh, nice armor. Yeah, a lot of bonuses better than mine. Oof. Oh, man. Man. Hey, I'm putting this stuff on. Like the color, too. Man, what the heck? Let's strap on that sword. Check that out, folks. Check that out. I'm gleaming. Gleaming from tip to top. Look at that green, too. The way it reflects. Wow. Wow. Again, I'd not come across that before, so this is brand new to me. Yeah, it reminds me, I've got something I've got to do here. Ooh, I don't know if I can do it. There's one decoction I need to take because long locks, gold, of course, from the tale about the Rapunzel. I need to get an anti-wraith decoction going. Up there it is, first try. First try. I'm gonna have to take. No, not golden oriole. Where is it? There we are. White honey. Now take that. Now I can take that. Let's grab a couple more decoctions. No, I don't do that. No. No. Yeah, there we go. One always. And one more. No. 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 Yeah, what the heck. Doppler decoction. Increases critical hit damage when attacking from behind. Let's go ahead and do this. Oh yeah, I should get some moon dust in my setup as well. Here we go. There we go.
This Longlock's tower?
Indeed. It's even taller than I remembered.
Wait. What Joss said about the third beam, remember?
In the possession of a bold farmhand somewhere deep beneath the ground. Yes, this must be it. Let's go.
Could pull myself up here, and I'll have to make that jump.
If you say so, I shall wait down here if it's all the same. Climbing's not my strong suit.
Oh, shoot! Ah! Blast the blazes. That happened yesterday, too. Can't run through mushrooms, dummy. There we go. That took care of it. And blast it to blazes. Sometimes this walk mechanic is absolute crap. No other way around it. Absolute crap.
This Longlock's tower?
Indeed. It's even taller than I remember.
Wait. What Joss said about the third beam, remember?
In the possession of a bold farmhand somewhere deep beneath the ground. Yes, this must be it. Let's go.
Could pull myself up here, and I'll have to make that jump.
If you say so, I shall wait down here if it's all the same. Climbing's not my strong suit.
Alright, save it here. Should have saved it earlier. There we are. What in the living blazes? There we go. That was harder than it should have been. Save it here. There we go. Alright. Save it again. Let's see, got that door. I gotta love the sound of the armor. Ooh, look at that sword, by the way. Look at the hilt of that sword. That is oh boy, that's a good look at it right there. That is stupendous. That is absolutely stupendous. You know, I never checked out the brocade of my undersuit, the cloth that goes underneath the plate armor. That is quite stunning. Actually, I don't know if that's brocade or just pattern. Hard to say. Can't quite get the feel of the texture. But boy, that is just woof, 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 woof. I know, I'm impressed with myself. I know. Alright, let's do a hard save here. Oh yeah, I'm gonna get Spectre oil on my sword. You know, I didn't notice the chair on the floor before, but here's a bad scene for all. Hung by her hair.
Bastard.
Cass Yearden. There we go. That stun effect got me good. Moondust, moondust. There we go. That took something out. Pick up that darn strong. Ouch, ouch. They all roll out of the way anyway. Oh, wow, that took out all the skeletons. A couple more will do it. There we go, we got it.
yourself by her own hair.
Alright, there's a chest over here. Gold ball and golden thread. Interesting. I didn't find those last time. What have we got from her? Inner shards. Yeah, typical stuff. There we go.
Yellow bean.
Third bean.
Here it is. Would have stunk to climb all that way for nothing.
Alright. Oh, wrong sword. Let's get a look at it while we're at it here. Can't quite see it. Camera won't let us. Still, that is a beautiful hilt. Alright, I gotta check something real quickly. I may not have... First of all, I forgot to reset the YouTube chat. Again, I was watching an aviation disaster thing from Beyond Channel, I believe it's called. It's a British version of Discovery, and it's about FedEx 705, the flight where a FedEx employee tried to hijack it and crash it, and he attacked all of the other crew members with a hammer. He was initially supposed to be on the flight as part of the actual crew, which included a female pilot, but he actually wound up getting bumped from that flight because he and his previous crew, or his regular crew, overflew their time limit. You're only allowed to fly so many hours a day per FAA regulations, although some companies have a slightly more stringent requirement, but most of them go by FAA regs, Part 135 regs. And he was 1 minute over his allotted time, so he had to stand down for a day, and he really wanted to take that flight over, that specific flight. I don't know why. He had plans, but that wasn't part of it. That wasn't part of what he left behind, what his reasoning was. I don't believe he ever said. But he wound up being able to get on the jump seat, what they call an extra seat that most airlines have, where what they call non-rev passenger, someone who's not paying, normally an employee, can ride sometimes for free, sometimes at a discount rate, depends on the airline, depends on the flight. Most like Hawaii or European flights, there's a discount as opposed to a free flight. But again, those are called non-rev passengers. So he wound up getting on the plane in the jump seat. He brought along 3 framing hammers, 20-ounce framing hammers, and a spear gun. His thinking was that he could attack the crew with those and crash the plane, and it would have been full of fuel because it was flying from Memphis to California, a DC-10, big airplane. And he wanted to crash the plane, most likely, because his life insurance was worth $2.5 million if he died in a company accident. And he had gotten a divorce, and he was worried about his kids being able to afford to go to Stanford, which is where he went to school. And he was also having career problems. I won't get into all that. That's a bit more complicated. But he tried to kill all the crew with hammers, because he figured that if he just did crushing injuries, then those wouldn't show up any differently in an autopsy than if they had died in a crash. The spear gun was kind of an odd choice, but that would instantly incapacitate or kill someone and not put a bullet hole in the fuselage and decompress the cabin suddenly. Although that would have been a heck of a way to take the airplane down, would be sudden decompression. But again, it looked like he wanted to fly it into something, perhaps. Not really sure. He never said completely. He pled temporary insanity, and the jury didn't buy it. Now he's spending the rest of his life in federal prison. This was in 1998, I believe it was. But he hit every member of the crew. He had a free shot at every member of the crew with a hammer. Remember, back in those days, they had flight engineers because airplanes were a lot more complicated. They weren't as automated as they were now. So you had 3 crew members. Another thing that wasn't in his favor, because otherwise it would have just been him alone versus the 2 pilots, and he would have sure been able to overtake them quite quickly. But in this instance, he had to fight off 3 people, and he severely injured all three of them. They all got very severe blows to the head with the hammer. One guy had to completely relearn how to talk and eat and walk. He had a huge blow to the I believe the left side of his head, and it crushed that much of his parietal bone. Just absolutely crushed it. Big blow with a hammer, and he had actually bone shards go into his brain. But two of the crew member were able to get out of their seats and fight with the attacker. And the third crew member, who was the co-pilot at the time, he actually started doing. He was paralyzed for about 45 seconds. He got absolutely whacked with the hammer, and the attacker thought, well, he looks like he's out of the fight. I don't need to tend to him anymore. And he went after the other two crew members, and they were able to get out of their seats and wrestle with the guy back out of the cockpit. And then when the co-pilot finally came around to his senses, he started doing aerobatics in a DC-10 to throw everybody around and keep the attacker from being able to have enough time on his feet to do any more damage. If he could keep everybody rolling around, at least no one would have the upper hand for enough of a length of time to do serious damage. And the attacker had all the weapons. So he pulled the aircraft into a steep climb. Then he did almost a complete wing over, and then went into a steep dive, and then pulled out. So he's doing all these aerobatics again in a DC-10. At one time, he got close to the speed of sound in the thing in a full power dive. He didn't realize that the thruster levers were still in takeoff position, and so because they were climb position, I would say, because they were climbing out of Memphis on their way to California when the attack happened, and so he wound up actually going back into the aft area between the cockpit and the cargo net, and then the captain of the aircraft disengaged from the attacker and went and took over the aircraft and did some incredible flying to get that sucker on the ground. It was overweight. They were very fast because of the power setting and the dive. It's real hard to bleed airspeed in a big jet unless you have a lot of time because of the inertia. An object at rest tends to remain at rest. An object in motion tends to remain in motion, or will remain in motion unless acted upon by an outside force. And the drag isn't enough to just slow it down, even with the throttles at idle. And they were pretty close to Memphis still. So he came in hot, and landed with about 1,000 feet to spare on the runway. And then SWAT came in and grabbed the guy. The ambulance people came in, but they were all severely injured. One guy almost died from blood loss. He had been his temporal artery on one side of his head had been slashed open, and he was bleeding profusely from that. And nothing bleeds like skull and face wounds, folks. I'll tell you right now, nothing bleeds like a skull and or a face wound. I've seen it in the emergency room up close. Trust me, it gushes. It absolutely gushes. But anyway, so I was watching that, and I gave myself so little time between that and getting the show ready that I screwed everything up. That's where I was actually going with that. But got to talking. All right, let's continue. They all got the air medal. I can't remember exactly what it's called, but it's the highest aviation medal awarded to air crews, non-military air crews. They all received that medal. And again, the attacker wound up getting life in prison in federal prison for attempted air piracy. All right. Save it here. All right, hold on to your hats, folks. I will.
So?
Got the bean, but long logs. Seems she got sick of waiting for a knight in shining armor.
Can you blame her? Men these days, dandies and fops all.
That why you cozied up to a vampire?
Dettlaff was a tool, and only a tool.
Too bad he didn't know that.
I trust no one. Learned that long ago. Now it's his turn.
You can actually see the lines on either side of her forehead between her eyebrows when she gets upset. over like old memories, things like that. Look for it next time. You can barely see them right now. They'll smooth out when she relaxes, but when she starts getting upset, you can see the furrows in her between her eyebrows quite plainly. It's really something.
To use him, was that your plan from the start?
No. At first, I was simply intrigued. Do you know the story? It was in Metina, a few years past. I'd gone there to pass some loot off to a fence I know. We were hashing out the terms when in walked Detlef. He said he'd come to sell a silver candlestick. He gripped it through a cloth. That caught my eye. I followed him out, observed him from a distance, but he caught on quickly.
Yeah, superhuman senses will do that.
He turned...
Completely forgot that I was going to check the Twitch chat while I was at it. Okay, it stays popped out. Okay, good. All right. Sorry about that.
Down a blind alley, I followed. He jumped out from behind a crate, baring his teeth. I suppose he'd wanted to frighten me. Alas, he didn't in the least. After all, I'm a monster too, am I not?
A higher vampire and you were unimpressed? Don't know if that's brave or just plain foolish.
I've always had a way with ostensibly dangerous, quiet types.
That's supposed to be about me too?
Oh, bother, I hate to disappoint you, Geralt, but your belly button is not the center of the known world. Though, you do remind me of him a bit. Stifling all emotions inside you. Ever feigning indifference. You see, when I met Detlef, somehow I knew, call it intuition, that he meant me no harm, that he was trying to frighten me off, for he, too, was scared. Now do you understand?
I guess. What happened then?
We talked, then met up once, twice, 3 times. Enough that he became infatuated. I truly enjoyed it at first. But only at first. He did not love like a man, but like an animal, madly, deeply, unconditionally, wildly. To return such a feeling, anyone would be hard-pressed, let alone someone as twisted as I am.
So there came a day you just up and disappeared.
Yes, there was no other way. Let's just be friends, or I don't deserve you. He'd never have understood that sort of thing. But then, once I decided to return, clean up some old affairs, I remembered him and concluded he could still be of use.
Playing with fire, that.
Definitely. And either I'll get burned or I'll burn all else down. No other options.
Got a history with Detlef now, so this meeting will be different. Not afraid?
I can handle him.
Mm-hmm. Sure about that?
You look at him as a witcher and see a monster. I know what he's really like. You needn't worry. It's time to go. Just a bit more work and we'll be able to say sod off to this fecking fable sphere. Now we must plant them by the path near Longlock's tower. Then prepare to meet the giant. Right, this is the spot. Pull out the beans.
Oh, I completely forgot to repair my armor and stuff. None of that was in a great state of repair at the time. Hang on a second here. The sword. Yeah, the sword needs some work. My silver sword while I'm at it. Yep, it's hurt. Alright, the chest armor. Oh boy, that needs a full complement there. The full 90%. Get it over the top. Gloves. I'll do 15% on the gloves. Boots, 40%. And trousers, 40%. And again, just looking at how many armor and weapon repair kits I have, thinking back to very, very early on when we were first playing, and my stuff was so out of repair. The damage was from my swords was way down. The damage or the armor level of my the stuff I was wearing was way down, and I had no way to repair it in the field. I had zero by way of repair kits, and I was in the middle of all kinds of crud. Couldn't get there. Pardon me. Couldn't get out of it. So I was really struggling before I built up enough of that stuff. Let me see if I can. There we go. Got all my stuff back. Got my health back. All right, let's get our decoctions going. All right. First of all, the extra. I got catacana with that. Yep, there we go. And yeah, let's do that one. What the heck? All right, there we go. Oh, put our sword away. There we go.
Wait!
Why?
This stalk will sprout abruptly. Very abruptly. We must be careful. All right, toss them!
Something's always gotta go wrong.
The home stretch.
Man, the reflections off that armor. I'm so glad I found it. I absolutely adore it.
Incredible.
Admire the view later. First, we must deal with him.
So obviously a Cyclops would be an Ogroid. Yeah, okay. So Ogroid oil, Axion Ken. Ogroid oil, which one is that? Nope. Nope. Should have known that, wasn't it? Nope. Nope. Ha! Last one. I should put beast oil on the steel sword just for grins. Alright, Ken. See if I can- do anything. build up some real bombs. What have I got there? Northern Wind, good. Dancing Star, there we go. Shoot, I didn't click it.
Bastard.
Ouch. Slow him down, but it hurts him. Shoot. Missed him. Ouch. Oh, great. I was able to get away from the throw. I've never been able to do that before. Not now, kitty cat. Definitely not now. Not now, kitty cat. One of those left. Taking something off him. Shoot! Why did that throw short? Come on, that was ridiculous. Still got him, I guess. Yeah, still got him. Get out of here, get out of here. Get out of here. Man, that leaping attack. Great, went right into the fire. That didn't catch. Shoot. Ducked before I threw it. Two of these left. After that one. Nope, that's it. That's all of them. Let's see what I can pull up. Else I can pull out here. Grape shot. Oh yeah, definitely. Grape shot and yeah, same them. Let's go with grape shot first. Why doesn't shoot? Why? He actually overreached me that time. That was weird. I wonder what did that. It was like there was some electrical damage. Did these do anything? No, I guess not. gives me an opportunity to hit him. I get it now. I'd never noticed that before. Darn it. That off to the side. Get out of there. Get out of there. Don't stand there. Don't stand toe-to-toe with a giant. There we go. That got him.
For a fairy tale creature, that was one tough son of a wench.
I told you this land had gone ape mad, though I did not expect it to be so severe.
Can't help thinking you might have done that on purpose.
Why ever would I have?
To get rid of your guard, your captor. Getting close to the exit at this point. Probably think you don't need me anymore.
Well, you're wrong. You still stand to be quite useful to me.
That so? How? Plan to use me like you did Detloff?
No, I need you for a purpose far simpler. Well, don't just stand there and stare. I need a man, Geralt, and I'm not afraid to say it. I have no idea what awaits me once we leave this place. Treat it as my last wish.
Another time, another place, maybe. No offense.
None taken. You spoke clearly, you spoke honestly. It's fine.
I mean, I was with her yesterday, so no reason to do that twice in a row.
The exit's this way.
Obviously, she's very disappointed. Let me fix something real quickly here. I've got a screen that's peeking out from under the game window. It's driving me crazy. There we go, that's better.
Another will-o'-the-wisp.
Forgot to loot the giant. Gotta loot. Yeah, that's better.
Just curious. Why do you want the Heart of Toussaint and the ducal wine?
They were my right. My due.
Doubt we would have figured you out if you hadn't tried to get them. Know that, don't you?
I do. And I regret nothing. One lives but once. Here, we need but jump into the well. You first.
Portals in a fountain? Not terribly practical.
It was a secret passage. Henriette and I would use it to...
hide from your governess, which luckily she noted down in her diary, thus I knew where to await you. Never mind that. Has the young lady agreed to help clean up the mess she's made?
She has. And stop treating me as if I were a child.
Would you prefer I treated you like the lying manipulator you are?
Sienna, you've already run afoul of one vampire. Don't start a fight with another, all right?
Then tell said other vampire to stop taunting me.
I shall do my utmost.
Let's go. Really want to be done with this.
Okay, here comes the beginning of the third and final ending.
Nice place.
Isn't it? Offers a lovely view of the valley. On a clear day, you can see the outlines of Duntine.
All right, we just saw that.
Is it, though?
So...
Perhaps he'll tell you himself.
You nervous?
It's always a bit nerve-wracking meeting an ex. And especially so when said ex is a vampire.
I doubt he'll be in the mood for jests.
I know. May I be honest? Yes, I'm nervous. I really would prefer just to run off. I gave my word I would help, I know. But how much is that worth? Yet I owe him this meeting. And that is that.
I'm happy to provide you the proper distraction for multitasking, ABC. By the way, I was pre-med when I was first in college, and I was doing really well in calculus. I had passed advanced algebra trig the first semester, so second semester I was doing calculus, but I fell in with a bad crowd. Started smoking a lot of dope, only on the weekends, but still. And I also have something called bilateral dysplasia, which is a malformation of the ball and socket joints, and all my shoulders and my hips are all deformed. My left shoulder's getting bad. I can barely reach behind myself to put on a shirt or a jacket now. It's getting to a point where I need help. Don't think I'll ever have to have it replaced, though. But both of my hips were replaced when I was in my late 30s. Because I couldn't walk anymore. But at the time, I needed surgery, but it was scheduled for after the semester. And the pain was so bad walking from the dorm to class that I just couldn't concentrate anymore. So I went from killing it in calculus to flunking. And I got an F, actually. I've never gotten an F in anything before or since. But I just fell apart. And I should have... No one told me that you could drop a class. I didn't know that. I've gone through so much of my life doing things not knowing I could do something better than the way I was doing it. So I took the F, almost got kicked out of school, was on academic probation. I wound up making the dean's list a few semesters later, and I graduated with honors, believe it or not. But that second semester freshman year was a complete disaster. A complete and utter disaster. Needless to say, I wasn't in the pre-med program anymore after I flunked calculus. Took a few more runs at medical school after that, but the timing was never right, so I never made it all the way through. But did have some fun jobs in medicine three times, so it's not like I was ever away from it completely. But there's a quick life story for you regarding math. All right, so.
Let's get ready. Deadloff will be here any moment now.
Yeah, technical studies are out of the question now with my brain damage. I just don't have the brain power for it. It's not there anymore. But that's a very nice advice. I do appreciate it. That's very kind of you. I appreciate it. Very kind of you. Who knows? Maybe you're right. Maybe you're right. I've always wanted to finish my chemistry degree. I wound up changing majors for a reason that's too stupid to mention. I'm so embarrassed by it. I've never told anyone why. But I was initially a chemistry major, and I switched to media production. Totally worthless degree. Totally worthless. But it helped me get my first job, even though it was basically just me doing what I'd done all my life, which is being an AV nerd. That's how I put myself through college, was being a projectionist at a movie theater. And then I worked in the AV department at college.
Sienna, I have a question I must ask you. Did you truly feign it all? That which bound us was a ruse?
Deadlove, it's not that simple.
Oh no, it's very simple. You either deceived me or not. In forgiving you, I grieve. For now, we must part. A shame.
Sienna!
Sometimes that doesn't work, by the way. Sometimes the dead's eyes do not close when you pull the eyelids down. It's a matter of muscle memory. The last nerve pulses.
What did you do?
What I had to do. What she deserved. Beauclair will know peace once more. The vampires will have left the city by dawn. I shall leave as well. Go far away, far from men. You can try to stand in my way. Then I shall kill you both. Though that is not at all my will. The decision is yours.
You can go. But if ever we meet again...
I shall keep my distance, believe me. Geralt, Regis, farewell.
I'm sorry. I swore to protect her, I know, but it happened so fast. What have we done?
Let a killer walk. Isn't that what you wanted from the start, though? We have to let Anna Henrietta know.
Geralt, you will face...
I know. All the same, we have to inform her.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to get anything else done today. This took a lot longer to get to this part than I had expected. And I have a feeling, I don't know what's coming beyond a very, very tiny little bit, but I have a feeling it's going to be rather complicated. So, we'll see where we get. I'll be here for at least another... Let's see. Two and a half hours, somewhere in there. I got a bunch of points available. We are in jail, folks.
Hey there, Geralt of Rivia.
What do you want?
Me? Not a thing. Name's Handsome Jacques, and I've already got it all. What I wonder is
Handsome
if
Jack.
there's anything you'd need.
What can you get me exactly?
Exactly. Anything a patron of this little auberge might desire. From decent victuals that won't stew your innards to a dab of fisty to make you fly. Even brought in a slinky piece of arse once. A boarder claimed to suffer from glandular overactivity or some such. You see, out there beyond the walls, I'm a lowly dog's body. But here, in the kingdom of the clink, I'm the king.
Hey, good afternoon, Ray. No, I did not walk like a cowboy before I got my new hips. I walked like a cripple. That's what I am. I'm a cripple. Okay, let me do something real quickly here, folks. Oh, great, the YouTube connection went to hell. It looks better now. Okay, let me figure out what I'm supposed to do here, because I don't want to start screwing this up and make you guys stay here all day. All right, let's see. Quest. Burlap is the new stripe. Obviously, a play on orange is the new black. Okay. All right, so let's see. All right, reading. Sorry, I'm standing here slack-jawed. I'm reading. Let's see. Okay, all right, got it. That'll get me started.
You know me? How?
No. That's a stretch. No, I wouldn't say that, no. But I do know they've assigned you to the laundry, same as me. And I know what you're in for, your dastardly deed. Then again, I know that about every jester who winds up here.
Kinda curious to know what you know, Or think you know.
The Duchessa hired you to find the butcher of Beauclair. And you did, but then you let him butcher dear Anarietta's sis. Then this brute simply vanished. Dropped off the face of the earth, though in his case, turned to vapor might be the better phrase.
Seem pretty well informed.
Best informed mutt in this kennel, paws down. Duchessa's cross, no doubt, while you await your trial.
I like this guy.
Though she never seemed concerned for her sister before.
Since you seem to know so much, tell me one last thing. My sentence. What'll it be?
None can tell you that. Anarietta's a fickle cocotte. There's just no knowing which teeth she's like to flesh. But I'd advise against escape. You're a prisoner among many now. Take flight, though. Make it out. Public enemy number 1.
Why'd they lock you up?
Hodgepodge. I had no domicile but had to winter somewhere, so I robbed the shopkeeper. Couldn't have made a worse mistake. The penalty was a fine, an amount I couldn't pay, so they switched it to lashes, meted out on my bum. After that, I shifted course, started pinching bigwigs' noses. Cut the tail of Count Beauvieux's steed. Got 1.5 years for that. My next exploits had to be grander, even greater wrongs. So I carefully chose my victim, Marshal de la Stake. Filled his cask with dung from between my very own cheeks. That got me 3 years of free room and board. I'll pull another prank as soon as they let me out. Made it a career. It's become my way of life.
Unfortunately, there are people like that all over the world. Horrible to say, but true.
We gonna report for this laundry duty? Rather get it over with.
Away we go. Personally, I'm pleased we're assigned to it. Those rags stink like sick in the sun, but you get used to it. And when you're working, you get more bread.
Don't get my Dan.
I've no clue,
because
but
if
we're
you get
better off
my
chomping
Dan
grass.
I'll get
with
off
that
your
canteen
Dan,
reeks.
if you get my drift.
You told him that, did you?
I
what's
sure
this?
did. I haven't had a speck of trouble with that sausage snuffer since. Learned his lesson.
Okay, the note reads as follows. Danny, see if you can't get a small hammer and chisel for me, the kind used for stone carving. If you manage, put them in the drop-off spot. I'll pick them up then. Then I'll get you that placard, but I'll need 2 days to get it to you. Placard will wait in the same drop-off spot. I hope you won't hang yourself till then. It's worth waiting, because this is the work of the greatest master of Sidaris, or at least that's what my man claims. Signed, Gaspar. I think that's a fair reference to the Shawshank Redemption. Yeah, we had read those. All right.
Norse, what you were selling had no right to be called food.
What? I can't
Rat
stand
poison.
this punk either.
Let's look around here, see if we can find the drop-off spot.
Your aged meathead half of Tucson galloping to the privy.
That's because our courtiers have the bellies
There
of
we go.
colicky newborns.
You should have sold your slop to peasants then.
Are you daft? First, peasant. And second, nobles pay a spit load more.
All right, wait 7 days, this says. All right, that's a long time. That's a long time. All right, so I've got to go to the... Got to go to the laundry first. All right, which way? This way? Yeah, there he is. Okay.
Pack the dirty rags in the tub. I'll see to the suds and water.
That's not good. That's not good. Folks, you saw what I just said there? I picked up the soap. The oldest trick in the book.
Take the stick and stir the rags. Water's almost boiled.
Stick. Stick. Ah, there it is. I'm standing on it. Poor man's agitator. I'm old enough to remember rollers to dry clothes before you hung them out to dry. It was a mechanical thing. You'd turn a crank, the clothes would go through the rollers, and it'd squeeze the water out to the point where they were just very damp. They're damp. I shouldn't say very damp. They were damp. We had that when I was first a kid. Had to hang our clothes out to dry on the line. A little different in the winter. I don't remember how we handled it in the winter. I was a little too young for that.
Who have we here?
The Guardian of Gutter Snipes locked in the clink. How did that happen?
My. What could the Duchess's favorite have done to deserve this?
Back off. I'm busy.
Hear that? The laundry wench is busy. Yet I fear we have a matter to resolve. Remember our meeting, bootblack bodyguard?
You go ahead and chit. I'll be back once you're done.
Thanks for sticking around to help, Jacques.
You're in the coop, mate. Only one thing counts here, survival. Folk don't stick their necks out for anyone besides themselves.
Boo-hoo. He left you all alone.
Nope, I don't have Delusion 2, so looks like we're going to have to get busy.
Seems fools never learn. Let's get this over with.
Grab your washboards, boys! Let's show this skid who does the scrubbing around here!
Not your lucky day.
That's the thief who killed 4 fingers!
I'll take him from the left! All together, on 3!
Shoot! I'm trying to... I have nothing to eat, too. I'm gonna die. I am gonna die. I've been trying to cast Axie, but I don't have enough. Shoot! It won't work. Well, that's just crazy. Yeah, I'm so dead. I'm so dead. Yep, I knew it. I knew it. Crap. I'm supposed to be able to cast Axie, and it won't let me. The internet said I could cast Axie.
What is going on here?
Is something not in order, sir?
Why's this man on the floor?
Perhaps you should ask him that.
Why are you lying there?
Taking a rest. First day in the laundry. Didn't realize it could be so tiring.
Harlots, brutes. Solitary for the lot of you. You'll have ample time to consider. Think about the choices you've made in life. I'll make certain of it.
Didn't do anything to deserve solitary.
Shut it! Milton was my cousin. You let him die. Was the Duchess's coin not enough? Did you expect more to save a good man's life?
Arrived too late. Nothing I could do.
And when the beast tore apart the Duchess's sister, too late then too? Were it up to me, you'd have hanged already. And don't you try any witcher tricks on me. You will end oh so badly if you do.
Guess it wouldn't have mattered if I won the fight or not. That's true, Ray. Although I haven't been to a car wash like that in ages.
Will, Stefan? Or did they lock you up too? Bet you're thinking about food. What you'll eat once you're free. Mutton leg. That's what I'm dreaming of. Well roasted on the outside, nice and juicy in the middle.
Are you the lout from Rivia?
Yep, I'm that lout.
Come with me. You're to be sentenced.
To what?
To shut it. What am I, the town crier? Hands behind your back.
Yep, talking to a rat.
Now let's go, and no funny business.
Get ready. Soon all your problems will be solved, once and for all.
How about those guys beat me
Do
to a
you know
pulp?
where this leads?
No. Hope it's the exit, though.
You guessed it. The thing is, there are different kinds of exits. Some walk this path to freedom. Others walk it straight into eternity.
Which am I headed for?
I don't know. Yet one thing is certain. You will never walk this path again.
Mark Dubois, you are hereby judged guilty of trampling Alice Valref, the cupbearer's wife, while on horseback. The woman's condition is critical.
It was an accident. I was riding fast, it's true, but she jumped out in front of me.
In light of the above, there can be but one sentence. Death by decapitation.
No, I didn't do anything! Help! There must be witnesses!
Off with his head. Next.
Paul, the Witcher, take him to the tower. That's an order.
An order's an order. Guess you're not next after all. Follow me. You're supposed to follow me.
Why do you make me watch that execution?
So you'd know this is no almshouse for lost orphan boys.
Wanted me to think I was next. Enjoy that? Getting a rise out of folk?
You guessed it. The harlots' hounds that land here, I detest them. So I do everything in my power so they'll know they're in the clink, not on holiday.
Hang on, I'm trying to read and walk at the same time. Let's see. Okay, so Huh. Let me check something real quickly here. What's going on with Okay. Okay. Oh, all right, cool. Okay, got it. All right. I wondered what was going on going on with the whole chisel thing, but turns out that's coming up. So.
I've brought the prisoner, sir.
Unbind him and leave us. Greetings, Witcher.
Your face doesn't look good. Though, looked even worse last time I saw you.
I apply an arnica extract. I can hardly feel it anymore. But my scars pale in comparison to the fate Siana met with. The fate that was your doing. I trusted you. And how did you repay me? Consider it, Witcher. Why do you think the Duchessa had Siana hidden away to start with? Can you guess?
I'm sorry. Might not believe me, but couldn't have predicted that turn of events. Certainly never wanted that.
Enough. We shall speak of it no more.
Guess there's been a decision in my case.
Truly, is that all you care about? Your own hide?
Not only. Also care how the Duchess feels, for example. And I hope that, unlike you, she doesn't blame this all on me.
A court heard your case, not Anna Henrietta. The facts are as follows. You were hired to kill the beast. Not only did you fail in that endeavor, but you also caused the death of our Duchessa's sister. Have I missed anything? I'll have you know that were it up to me, you would rot in our dungeon until your dying day.
Glad you didn't have the deciding vote then.
At any rate, I am not the best person to tell you what was decided in your matter. I'd say the man who worked hardest to tip the scales in your favor should.
What are you talking about? What man? Dandelion?
Sheesh, Geralt. You look like you've seen a ghost.
A ghost wouldn't have surprised me half this much, I promise you. What are you doing in Beauclair?
Officially, visiting Henrietta. That is to say, the Duchess. We're old friends, but you know that. Unofficially, I'm saving your hiney.
You? You're a persona non grata in Toussaint. Undesirable.
Didn't stop me from risking my skin for you. In my book, friendship is all that matters. Well, friendship and love. And art. Oh, and wine.
How'd you even know I was in prison?
Regis came to see me right after they locked you up. I mean, Regis, right? Can you believe that? To come back after... Amazing. He told me everything, and naturally, I couldn't possibly leave you to rot in there.
By the way, Ray, you noticed that I was in solitary for exactly 7 days, so that took care of the waiting a week.
Take it I'm free, thanks to you. How'd you manage it?
Oh, I have my ways. Took a little persuasive logic, blended in some deft rhetoric, then added a generous pinch of charm, and voila! You're free. But just so you know, it wasn't easy. In fact, it was pretty damn hard. Duchess was so furious, I think she even forgot she'd banished me from Beauclair. For life. All she could do was scream that you'd never set foot outside that dungeon again.
How'd you get her to take a fresh look at things?
I appealed to the faultless intentions that guided you, to your reputation, your accomplishments, and, well, ultimately she changed her mind, and you're free. Never wants to see you again, but even got her to leave your vineyard with you. You won't get a copper of your promised reward, but you'll keep your estate.
Dandelion, you're a regular master of diplomacy. Thanks.
Listen, you do whatever needs doing, but I've got to get to the cemetery. Henrietta's in bad shape with Sienna dead. Some folk forget that under the ducal regalia, she's just an ordinary woman who's lost a loved one.
Been meaning to ask you, how's Priscilla?
All right. Recovering steadily from the horror she's been through.
So, you two, you're still...
Of course we are. How could you even think it was otherwise?
No idea. Just within the realm of possibilities. But please be careful not to lead Anna Henrietta on. Suggest you've come here for any reason beyond getting me out of my predicament.
The bond between the Duchess and myself is one of pure friendship, nothing more. Now, off to console a friend in need.
All right. See you later.
See you, Geralt.
I'd have hugged him.
Off we
Witcher
go.
and all.
You'll collect your things at the door.
Witcher and all, I'd have hugged him.
To the exit.
Alright, so now we can collect what we left behind. Let's see, no, not up here. Make sure I'm going the right way. Yeah, this looks right. Yeah, good, good. Alright, should be straight across the courtyard here.
Not terrible. Might look nice on my wall.
Ah, look at that. Yes, so this is kind of a reference to I already forgot the name of it. Shawshank Redemption. You remember there was the poster of Jane Fonda as oh shoot, what was the name of the character? Not Vampirella. Shoot, I can't think of the name of the character now. Anyway, she was wearing kind of an animal skin outfit, and that poster was on the wall, and it turned out that was the poster that Tim Robbins was using to hide the tunnel he was digging out of his cell. That's when the warden, was like, "What do you got to say for yourself, Fuzzy Britches?" And he hits the poster, and it breaks open, and there's the wall, or the hole in the wall. So this is kind of a takeoff on that. By the way, we've got some points to spend. Shoot, I hit the wrong key. Sorry about that. There we go, let's try this again. There we go, building those up nicely. All right, okay, we're out of that. Hang on a second, I forgot what I was doing. Oh yeah, there we go. Okay, good, got that done. All right, let's collect our things. I'll find a place for that.
Your
back
things
home.
are past the first gate. Take them, leave them. I don't really give a fig.
My things from the chest. There we are. Let's let all this load. Gonna take a while. Make sure the inventory catches up before I start putting things on. Otherwise, I might crash it. Not sure I will, but I don't want to. I don't want to, just to make sure. All right, so let's get our stuff on. Just put our regular stuff on for now. I don't think walking around in Toussaint Knight's garb would be a good idea, considering my status in the city right now, as it were. Crossbow. Where's the crossbow? There it is. Okay. Yeah, good. We kept all our stuff. Good. All right. We are out of here. Smile on my face. You don't often see that kind of smile on Geralt's face.
Don't
Regis?
smile so wide. Someone's liable to see. Could mean trouble.
That is Regis.
I can't help myself. Just so glad to see you.
Glad to see you too, my vampire friend.
Oh, it's Raquel Welch. Thank you, Ray. Thank you. There is a sign of brain damage to get Raquel Welch mixed up with Jane Fonda. Oh, God. Thank you so much, Ray. I appreciate that. I would have gone to my grave embarrassed as all heck for getting that wrong. That was... what was the name of that movie? 2000 BC, I think it was? Or 5000 BC, something like that? Maybe that's what I'm thinking of. But, yeah, that was a hot poster at the time.
Thanks for getting Dandelion to come out.
It was nothing. True, he was not at first terribly eager to face the Duchess, but I managed to persuade him his person was indispensable.
Well played. Dandelion loves being indispensable.
Yet he so rarely is, poor man.
1 million years BC. See how bad my memory is. I used to have a memory like a steel trap for movies. Again, I was a projectionist. I was a professional projectionist for 3 years. I showed a lot of great movies, and I knew a lot about movie history too. That's kind of my thing. Yeah, 1 million years BC. How could I have forgotten that? Unfortunately, one of the movies I showed was Search for Fire, which is a horrible movie, an absolutely horrible movie. We had a different title we came up for it, but I don't want to say it in mixed company. It's a little ribald.
What did you do while
While you vegetated in that correctional facility, I used the time to think. Wish to know what I thought about?
Of course.
The relationship between two numbers. Dettlaff's 4 victims and the 5 chivalric virtues. As you've no doubt noted, there's a difference of 1.
Mean to tell me, after all we've figured out, that you now believe in the whole 5 virtues punished theory?
Belief's got nothing to do with it. It's cold logic, deduction. Syanna went to great lengths to make folk believe the beast was punishing those who betrayed the virtues. Were I in her shoes, I'd make sure the number of victims matched. Are you not at all curious who was meant to be the 5th?
If I say yes, what then?
Then you'll come with me for another chat with the bootblack. You see, I've learned he delivered the notes to Dettlaff. Our search starts with him.
Fine, see what he has to say. Could use a good walk, work out the kinks if nothing else.
Come then.
Quest for Fire, yeah, Ray Dong Chong, yep, that's the movie. I'd forgotten Ray Dong Chong was in it. Yeah, that was her first big role, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Quest for Fire. Yeah.
Oh,
Horrible
it's the
movie.
chap with the swords. Sir, you look like some beast ate you up then spat you out. Are you here for a spiffing? Boots make the man, they say. Step on up.
Need to ask you something.
Yet again? Go on then. I'm a proponent of free speech and I will gladly tell you all I know. But why not get your boots shanked while we jabber?
Guess they could use a spit and polish.
Then I shall take advantage as well. A friend of mine used to say boots should be as clean as the soles that wear them.
Clean boots, clean soles. A fine slogan.
How's business?
Well enough, I can't complain. Though it'd be even better were certain folk to sit down for a shine as they stood and chatted.
Gotta admit, I love the color of those boots. They look really sharp. Kind of like the Captain America outfit.
Man in the frock coat. You passed him some letters, remember?
Why, of course. I'm young, got a mind like a steel trap, but...
If you're about to tell me this information will cost me, forget it. How'd you get those letters?
Beggars brought them.
Had to get a new drink, and I'd forgotten that I was going to change hats. Got on the straw hat. The other weekend hat. Okay, that's why they call me Hat.
Why didn't you tell us this before, when we first talked?
You didn't ask about beggars now, did you?
Beggars. Tell us more about them. How many were there?
Why, 4. 1 for each letter.
Just 4? Sure you didn't get a 5th?
I can't count, you know.
Remember anything else? These beggars have anything in common?
What? Come now. Each was different. Some had mismatched boots, others had no boots at all. Oh, I know! They all had no home!
Kid, my patience is starting to run a little thin. Now think hard. Where'd they get the letters? They pick them up? Get them from someone?
I don't know. They'd come, hand me a letter, and walk away. I asked no questions.
Geralt, allow me to ask a question. Listen, lad. I'll be glad to mix another batch of that bootshine for you. But you must focus now and tell us all you know. Where can we find the beggars?
Well, at the shelter, most like.
Where's that?
Everyone knows. It's just round the corner. Up those stairs, then right.
Thanks, kid. For your trouble. We must visit the shelter. Look around inside.
Bashing that beast? I knew I would. He stole.
Sorry, dude. Didn't see you.
Trouble.
My sister saw where this one beggar buried some
You've
gold
to move
coins.
your little camp elsewhere, got it? This is a decent district. We need no filth folk bumming about.
Gentlemen, there's no need to raise your voices. Let's keep our calm.
Our calm is exactly what you disturb. Your vagrants bring pestilence, take work from honest folk, and sponge off ducal relief.
My folk do not harm his soul. And they've nowhere else to go.
We don't give a flying fart. You're breaking my heart.
I once had a...
You? What do you want?
To talk.
Here, that's a waste of breath. We've tried it, only to tire our lips. We'll use other means of persuasion now.
Gentlemen, calm, please.
Either get out along with these flea-ridden vagabonds, or we'll toss you all out. Our patience is gone. This place is no longer a rank refuse dump.
Scram! Decent folk live here.
Excuse me, just a moment, folks. Ray, get your clicking finger ready. Get your clicking finger ready in D-Live. All right. 30 seconds, sir. Treasure chest is open.
The shelter, them living here, bothers you. Question is why?
Look, Ballard. Another defender of the poor. Fighter for justice.
Damn nuisance. We've our women and young folk living next door, when even grown men fear to walk past such rabble.
Sorry, Ray, you came in third out of third, which is the same as first. Nice try, though.
Decent folk you mention. Mean yourselves.
Why? Do you doubt it?
Hell yes.
Hear that, Artois? He poking insults us. On our own turf.
We should step aside, good fellow. My friend is perfectly capable of settling this unfortunate dispute on his own.
Not going down this time, folks.
Ooh, Witcher! Fucking twit. Not a Witcher.
Ah, shoot, let him get me from behind. Stupid. There we go.
Grey-haired puppy knobber.
Now we're getting in the rhythm. Ouch. I'll let him have that one. Ow, I'll let him have that one too. It stood right there. There we go. One down, one to go. He's full strength, though.
Come now, Twitcher. Try me.
There we go. That's better. That's better.
All right. I can take a hint. Come, time to go.
I thank you so much for your aid. I tried to reason with them, but they'd have beat me blue had you not come along. I'm grateful. Immensely.
What did they want from you?
They are neighbors. Wish me to take my folk, the shelter, elsewhere. They dislike that I help the beggars. I do not oppose going elsewhere, were we to have somewhere to go. But you've come with a problem, have you? My turn to aid you.
What is this place? Poorhouse?
You could call it that. They come here to rest and eat a hot meal.
You help them, why?
Because they need help.
Need some information. Looking for a man who might have mentioned the boot black in Rue de Garl.
The boot black? A feisty lad. I know him.
Any of your, wards supposed to meet him recently or soon?
Forgive me. Those I help and I are not so close that I would know. But should you wait, they'll all soon come for their meal. You can question them yourselves.
Thank you, Ray. Very generous of you. Certainly not necessary.
Thanks. We'll wait. Nice of you to let us.
I've definitely got to get to a barber before I go back to Corvo Bianco. Put that poster up.
My dears, I've a matter to address before I serve this soup. These two gentlemen have some questions of you. Pay attention. Answer in brief. For if you draw it out, your soup will go cold. And we wouldn't want that, would we?
Recently, 4 of you delivered sealed letters to the bootblack. I know this.
Does anyone know what the gentleman means? Go on, speak up. Romain?
Why should I squeal? We were all told not to mention the letters. We all swore.
You can tell me, Romain. You were given a letter and you delivered it, right? Good work, Romain. Thank you. Who else?
I got one too. Gave it to the bootblack. And Freshy, he got one. But he can't tell you, as he's not here.
I still have mine. I'm to deliver it 2 days after the Feast of St. Barnabas.
The guy with the beard, the beggar with the beard, the one on the far left, sitting facing us, next time you look, he reminds me of one of the apostles from a particular movie about the life of Christ. Forgive me for not remembering which one. Again, my brain just is not what it used to be, and my memory's really muddled. But he reminds me very, very significantly of an apostle. Maybe I'm picking that up from the Jim Caviezel's Christ from what was it, The Agony of Christ, or the Mel Gibson movie, Passion of the Christ. My wife just shouted that out to me. Passion of the Christ. Maybe I'm thinking of Jim Caviezel, but I think I am thinking of an apostle from one of the earlier movies, just off the top of my head.
I need the letter. It's very important. It's no use to you anymore.
But I was to deliver it personally. Let no one else see it. That is what she said, and she was frightening.
You ought to heed folk who are kind and honest. These men helped me a short while ago, helped all of us. If this individual threatened you, you need not keep the promise you made.
All right. Take it. I didn't want to see the bootblack anyways. It's always muddy there.
Damn it.
What is it? Another name, truly?
See for yourself.
Well. I must say, even I did not expect this. This time you will see to our Duchessa. It seems we underestimated Sienna rather grossly.
Judging by this, Detloff was literally supposed to tear her heart out.
Yet first you must snap her neck. Puzzling.
Puzzle complete now.
Alas, the matter's ceased to be a tantalizing brain tease and has turned incredibly grave. We've proof of a plot to assassinate Toussaint's ruler. We've proof of a coup d'etat.
Duchess was to be Detloff's last victim. Sienna planned it from the start.
Indeed. The logical conclusion, Geralt.
4 seemingly random victims to start. The virtue's their only link. Enough to get folk talking about a righteous, vengeful beast. Obscured the victims' links to Sienna, even as she had those she despised killed off one by one, leaving the Duchess for last.
Had she managed to fulfill her plan, none would have questioned the reasons. Most would have thought Anna Henrietta had died for her sins. She was known to show a hard heart on many occasions, ample proof of a lack of compassion.
Why would Sienna murder her own sister? Out of envy? To take power? From an inborn penchant for evil?
Yes, yes, and yes. All those make sense, and none are mutually exclusive.
Can only guess what drove Sienna. Luckily, Anna Henrietta is safe now.
I believe we may dare to assume so. Sienna's death was also the death of the Duchess's only natural rival. She is in no danger, for now.
Pretty rare thing for a ruler. What do we do now?
Now we drink. Unless, that is, you feel a witcherly duty to see the Duchess and tell her what we just learned.
Huh. I did not expect this. I'm going to tell the Duchess.
Think this might be something Anna Henrietta should know.
As you wish. I shall await you at Mare la Chaiselongue. A mug of mandrake brew to keep me company.
Not coming with?
No. After the horror Detlef brought down upon the city, and in light of Sienna's death, I think it wiser not to appear at the palace.
Probably right. See you later, then.
Before heading to the palace, you might wish to see if Anna Henrietta is not at the city cemetery. She spent a great deal of time at her sister's grave these last days.
All right. Let's see. So let's first of all, looks like we've got some rain coming. Finally, it's been very, very dry here. Very dry. I need to find me a barber. Is there a barber here in town anywhere? Thought there was one. Shoot. Where is there a barber? I can't stand looking at myself the way I am. Here we go. There's one at the turning grounds. Here we go. Okay, cool. Let's go to Beauclair Port. Yeah, just down the way here.
Vampires walk a dusty trail. Oh, how boring they would wail.
What do you want?
I heard you did a jaunt in the joint. Is that true, Greylocks?
Ah, good. Got there the easy way.
Start no
Time
pros.
is no pro.
All right. Turning grounds. There we go. Yeah, right down
Geralt
this way.
of Rivia, Slayer of the Beast, I am in your debt.
Dude, I didn't slay the beast. That's for the whole reason I got into trouble.
Palmading! Cheap
Mr. you wouldn't be seeking an...
Welcome, Sir Geralt. I've heard tell of your accomplishments.
Need a bit of grooming.
All right. Let's see. First of all, hair. Hair looks terrible. Let's see. No, I don't want a shaved head. Let's see. Shaved on the side, short on top, and a ponytail. There we go. Number 5. Alright, that's pretty tough looking. Alright, now with the beard, I want the goatee back. I really liked the goatee. There we go. There we go, bitchin'.
My time's up. So long.
Palmading! Cheap Panthara!
Master Witcher, you wouldn't be seeking an apprentice, would you?
Watch my bum. Vampires. Real life.
Alright, so let's head to Metin the Gate and talk with the Duchess. Duchessas. So
You shan't find
proper
anything
speak.
better in all Toussaint.
Do you know the colors I would see on the Duchy's banner?
Citizens, a
Well,
plea from
early
Her
there.
Illustrious Highness. The ducal chancellery is swarmed each day.
There's that darn gate again. Did that to me last time. There we go. Now let's do a quick save here. Just in case this goes south.
Geralt, why have you come? Forgotten already? The murderer you were to kill lives, while the Duchess's sister lies dead.
Wouldn't have come if I didn't have to. Promise you that. But I've learned something. Something that might interest Anna Henrietta.
Forgive me if I lend no credence to your word.
Found a letter Siana wrote. To the murderer.
Very well. You may enter. But I make no promises as regards the Duchessa. She mourns her sister in the ducal crypt. Viscount de Lettenhove is with her.
Yeah, this might get my head cut off. We'll have to see what happens here.
Remember, my dear Henrietta, despair is like a stormy sky. Sooner or later, the sun must drive away the clouds.
That is easy for you to say. The one murdered was not your sister.
My life hasn't exactly been a bed of roses. True, my sister wasn't murdered. Don't even have a sister, actually, but many times I've lost. Ugh, unimportant.
Your Grace.
The impudence you must harbor to come in here after all that's happened.
Calm down. I'm sure Geralt's got a very good reason. Right, Geralt?
Before you start dumping accusations on me, I think you should know something. Siana, she was a vicious, wicked woman.
Who are you to tell me who my own sister was?
I'm the man you hired to investigate the Beast of Beauclair. And I found a letter your sister wrote to the murderer.
Really? Maybe you should read it then. It could be important.
You read it, Tantalai, aloud to me.
This time you must see to our Duchessa. Anna Henrietta knows nothing of empathy. Her heart is cold. This shard of ice you must tear from her breast.
My sister could never have written that.
Got proof she did.
No. I don't believe you. I don't believe it. Someone seeks to blacken her in my eyes. I won't allow it.
There, Henrietta. Don't get upset.
The letter is vile. It's slander. You must destroy it. Do you hear? No one else must ever read it. Ever!
Consider it done.
And you, out! Get out of here! This is all you're doing! Begone, hear me! I never wish to see you again! I shall never believe she did this. She was not capable. This is an outrage, Dandelion. Tell him it's not true. Tell him it's a dirty lie.
Geralt, get out of here, please. The Duchess, she needs to be alone.
That went about as well as I had expected.
As to her enlightened highness, didn't go great. Got the full kaleidoscope of her emotional states. Spun through it at an impressive pace, too.
Am I to understand she didn't throw her arms about you and shower you with thanks for saving her from her murderous sister?
Got that right. I don't blame her, though. Luckily, Dandelion was there to smooth things over. Somewhat.
As you know, I had little sympathy for Siana. Nonetheless, I very much regret I could not keep her safe. To you, her ultimate fate, does it still bring on the occasional pang of regret?
Yeah. Still.
Well then, drink up.
Beauclair seems safe now, though I'm still left wondering. I mean, Detloff's alive. Think Anna Henrietta's still in danger?
No. He had a score to settle with Siana. By his reckoning, he did just that. He has no reason to attack anyone else, or to remain in Beauclair any longer.
Sure hope so. Though in his boots, I'd regret having to go. Place is just plain beautiful, damn it.
Oh, shooting star.
Supreme bouquet.
Yeah, we did
Firm,
this before.
defined.
We did this earlier.
Not much of a connoisseur.
Then it is high time you started your education. After all, the Corvo Bianco vineyard is now yours. By the way, I left a gift for you at your new home. On the nightstand.
Sorry, Ray, I forgot you weren't here earlier.
Mind telling me what it is?
A trifle. That will nonetheless be useful should you need mutagens. Incidentally, have you thought about what you'll do with your prize? Shall you hang your swords over the mantle and take to pruning vines?
Don't really know yet. Might find the life of a hard-working vintner too tempting one day. Or maybe I'll just stick to the path, go on roaming, staring up at the stars after laying my bedroll at the roadside.
Ah, roadsides, bedrolls, and the sky above. I sense some poetry coming on, which, of course, brings to mind Dandelion. I can remember a night, not too far from here, if I'm not mistaken. We hid in a cave while a blizzard raged all about. Does that sound at all familiar?
How could it not? We just set off to rescue Ciri from Vilgefortz.
Oh, our encounter with Vilgefortz. That is something I do not remember so fondly. But that first stay in Beauclair, far calmer than this one.
Seemed like a land straight out of a fairy tale back then. Its sole problem, cellars too small to accommodate all that wine.
Appearances, Geralt. Appearances, like Mamoons and Dopplers, deceive. So what did become of Vilgefortz?
Killed him. Sure wasn't easy, though. What about you now? Got a plan?
I do. I must find Detloff. Help him. I certainly owe him that much.
Vampire friendships. Clear rules. Must be nice.
Do I detect a note of sarcasm?
Not at all. I so don't feel like going anywhere. Sit here a while longer?
So we shall, my friend. We have witnessed, and in fact on several occasions incited, many great and weighty events. After all that toil, I believe we deserve a bit of a rest.
That we do.
Okay, so I need to let the credits roll all the way so I can get a New Game Plus out of this one that allows me to keep that armor and sword that I found in the Land of a Thousand Fables. I don't want to give that stuff up. That's just too awesome of a piece to give away. I can build up a good swordsman skill set. I have the potion I need to redistribute all of my ability points, so that'll allow me to create a really good swordsman set to take away what I built up with the bomber kit, and then I can also parlay that armor into a better piece by adding the proper runestones. Pardon me, armor gets glyphs. What am I trying to say? Armor gets glyphs. Swords get runestones. I've got the runestones. I don't have any glyphs, but I'll probably go back to the Ophirids in Velen and get them to put some spells on the armor to give me some better bonuses. Some of those are really good. Pardon me, by the way. This is Skippy peanut butter. Comes in these handy packets. It's really cool. But I've been so worried since I've been having all this trouble with my teeth about getting protein in my diet. I've been drinking protein shakes. We get bone broth from a place called builtbar.com, B-U-I-L-T, bar.com, not Bill Barr, the former AG, builtbar.com. And it's a bone broth. We put it into my ramen every day. There's a chicken and a beef, and I get collagen out of that as well, so that's good for my bones and my joints and my skin. But all this and protein shakes, of course, good ones from Sam's Club. They're the best I've ever had. I got some great flavors. But I realized last week, 10 days ago, that I wasn't getting any fat at all in my diet. I mean, zero fat. And because those, obviously ramen has no fat, and protein shakes are supposed to be low in fat. That's the ones we get. That's one of their selling points. And so I was at my dentist's office, and I said, guys, I'm not getting any fat in my diet. I'm screwing things up. Probably why I don't feel so well in the afternoon most often, because I'm just running out of the energy because I don't have the fat to burn. And I asked, what do I do? And the dental hygienist, the dental technician, new gal, very nice, very friendly. She'll fit right in. But she said peanut butter. I'm like, oh, I haven't had peanut butter in ages. I mean, a very long time. I ate it a lot in college because it's a good food and it's cheap. But it'd been quite a while. And so my wife picked up a bunch of these packets of Skippy, natural. That was the thing she said, natural, the stuff with the oils, not the processed stuff. Now there's also Skippy in a jar, same natural, but unlike the packets that you have to knead to get the oil back in suspension with the rest of the peanut butter, the jars are mixed in such a way that the oil stays in suspension. It doesn't seep out, so you don't have to stir it every time you open it. So I try to get a couple of these packets and a spoonful of peanut butter every day, although yesterday I fell behind, and I'm behind again today. I need to catch up. But each of these packets has 21% of your daily requirement of fat. And it's virtually all saturated fat. There's no trans fat whatsoever, so that's good. But they're very tasty. It does have some added sugar, not a lot, very, very little, but and a tiny bit of dietary fiber, but very low carbs, very, very low carbs, zero cholesterol, and very low sodium too. And it does have a decent amount of protein in it too. It's got 7 grams of protein, not a lot, but a decent amount. And it's not a bad source of vitamin E and niacin too. Not a bad source of niacin at all. So all important things. I take a multivitamin every day. I have since the end of 2019 when I got my back surgery. My surgeon is a health nut. Great. He's in great shape. Just great shape. Not a big guy, but I couldn't take him in a fight on a bet. Even with both guns on my hips, there's no way I could take him in a fight. He's just too wiry, too quick, and an incredible surgeon. He's the only surgeon here in Kenosha that I would let touch me. Everyone else is in Northwestern, except for my pain people. They're in the same office as my back surgeon, and then I've got a good GI group here too. I trust them, but that's about it. My primary, my cardiologist, my pulmonologist, all those people. Those are all out of Northwestern. The people here have tried to kill me way too often. I mean, literally. Well, the credits are rolling. Case in point. Some years ago, probably about 7 years ago now, I noticed that I was starting to slow down. I was only 53. But I was losing energy. I was losing focus. And to be honest, my libido was really dropping. And at coincidentally at the time, there were all those commercials about low testosterone. Remember there was that stuff with Bob, I think his name was, the guy with who was taking this particular testosterone supplement that made him more of a man than everybody else around him. And it turned out it was a scam, and the people got sued out of existence. But those commercials were everywhere, and there were other products that popped up too. So it just so happens that it's happening the same time these symptoms start appearing in me. And I'm not a person who tends to generate psychosomatic symptoms. That does not happen to me. And even when I was in medicine and I'd see all the sickness around me, I never thought, ooh, I've got that too. So I went to my primary, and I hit the second primary I had had here in town, because the first one tried to kill me by misdiagnosing my gallbladder inflammation as a gastrointestinal blockage. And instead of sending me to a surgeon, he gave me an enema, and my gallbladder tried to kill me. So yeah, low T. So I go to my primary, the second one, and I said, hey, I think I've got low testosterone. And he rolled his eyes, looked like he'd been getting that a lot. And I said, look, I seriously do. Here's why. And I listed the symptoms. And I'd also been gaining a little weight now that I remember too. And I hadn't normally gained weight. And he said, fine, we'll do a blood test. So they took blood, and a couple weeks goes by, and I don't hear anything. So I call the office, and the nurse says, hang on a second, when I ask about my results. And she comes back on the phone about a minute later, and she says, yeah, we got your results. They're fine. That's a quote. They're fine. Okay, thanks. Hang up. Things got worse and worse and worse and worse. I put on about 100 extra pounds. I went from 185 to 285, 290. I was wearing 3X shirts, size 44 pants. I couldn't move hardly at all. And the one thing my surgeon told me when he put in my new hips was, don't get fat. That was the one rule he gave me. Don't get fat. So here I was, fatter than a calf, waddling around. I'm at my psychiatrist's office, and he's on the same system for lab work as my doctor, my primary doctor. And he's looking through my labs, and he says, do you know you have a testosterone of 27? At that age, my normal testosterone should have been about 385 to 425. And I had a testosterone of 27. I was almost dead. And I said, oh my God. They never told me. He goes, what do you mean? I said, they never told me. They told me my testosterone was fine. I called about the results. And that was months previously, by the way. It wasn't just like that phone call had happened a week before I saw my psychiatrist. It had been months before that. So they didn't misdiagnose me. They deliberately lied to me about my test results, or they didn't run the test results at first and ran them later and never told me the results. Either way, they basically tried to kill me. I see no other way to look at it. So I got on the phone with my sister, and I said, well, here's what's going on. But I was so low energy, I didn't want to follow through. I didn't want to do anything. And she made me sit there on the phone with her, my sister, long distance. She made me sit there on the phone with her until she was able to research a good endocrinologist, and she found one at Northwestern who seemed to fit the bill. And she made me set up an appointment on online. I'm pretty sure it was online while I was on the phone with her, or she set up the appointment. One of the two. Either way, I didn't get out of there. Didn't get off the phone with her until I had an appointment. And I went to Northwestern, and the doctor diagnosed me, and she said, "Yeah, you've stopped producing testosterone. Your body's completely out. You're going to have to go on a gel." And they put me on a testosterone gel. I had to rub it into my shoulder every morning, a couple packets every morning. And things started going wrong, though. Let's see. Girl will always have a special place in our hearts. We hope we'll associate with you. Thanks for playing. Thanks for supporting us. Thank you for spending your hard-earned money on our game. We hope you had fun. Love, CD Projekt Red. Okay. And they got to the point where they wouldn't tell me my numbers anymore. For some reason, they thought I was bothering them, and they wouldn't tell me my numbers. They would just say, they're fine, which ticked me off, because I have a legal right to my values. I have absolute legal right to know everything about my medical condition. And so I fired them and wound up with an outlet that has me treating myself with a testosterone shot once a week. The values are a little high in the beginning, but they level out, and I have a much higher T level than I did on the gel, and I feel a great deal better. One thing is though,
actually, I'd love to go home.
My blood is too thick. I have to figure out. I'm in consultation, pardon me, with my guy at my new T clinic right now, and we're trying to figure out a way to get my blood thinned out. Either have to look into medication, or it may be just as simple as giving blood every so often, getting it out of my system. So we have to work on that though. Well, that story took up all the credits. All right, so let's finish the thing where we go home and talk to Ciri, and then we'll get out of this, save it, and then we'll get to Hearts of Stone. All right, so let's find our way out of here. And Ray, you weren't here for Ciri earlier, so I won't skip through all that. Although I did just give away who we're going to be talking to. That was a bit rude of me. There it is. Finally saw it for once. Shouldn't take too long to get through Hearts of Stone, because like I say, I've done the hard one already. So there's 2 left. I'll do them in reverse order of difficulty, just to make sure we don't run out of time.
Master Witcher, some unknown individual barged into the residence. I resisted as best I could, but to no avail.
Who is it?
Alas, they did not do me the basic courtesy of introducing themselves.
Ray, I think the nurse actually talked to the doctor, and he said, it's okay, just make him go away. I think that's what she was told. So someone deliberately lied. Whether it was the doctor or the nurse, someone deliberately lied. Perhaps both of them, I don't know.
You look good. Come. Don't just stand there. I want a hug.
But to make up a result, that's just as bad as lying, in my opinion.
Thought I'd never see you again.
Well, I've departed, escaped, been forced to flee so many times. Yet, I always returned. You ought to be used to it by now. I like coming back into your life.
I'm just glad you're here.
The house is lovely. It just needs some work.
Yeah, plan to do a lot. Want to go outside, maybe? Could show you the grounds.
Hey, Ray Zemini, good afternoon. We're finishing up the last part of Blood and Wine, and then we're going to be doing the last 2 endings of Hearts of Stone. We'll be done for the day. No show Monday, pardon me.
It's lovely here.
No show Monday, either morning or afternoon, but Tuesday we'll be back 8 a.m. Eastern to start Far Cry 5. That'll be our next playthrough. But please hang around and enjoy the rest of this. It's going to be fun.
I could stay forever.
Anything stopping you?
Obligations, duties. I'm only here because Emir concluded I must get to know what I'll rule once I take the throne. So I'm on a tour of the provinces with a small swarm of advisors. Which essentially means they take turns lecturing me while I follow them about, scribbling notes.
Plan to stay in Beauclair a while?
A bit. I convinced my advisors we'd be unwise to depart before I tasted each of this year's wines. my knowledge would be incomplete, you see. Though, actually, just between you and me, I'm not certain I'm cut out to rule, govern, all that.
Thinking you might give it up?
I can't say just yet, but I'm not willing to rule it out.
Shoot, that reminds me, I never drank the wines. I was planning on drinking all the wines. In fact, the ending I had before, I had the San Royale delivered. Obviously, this time that didn't happen, since I got thrown in jail. But I'll have to go back to that previous save and drink all the wines. I have a sneaking suspicion there's an achievement attached to that. I don't know it for a fact, but I want to try anyway. But yeah, I've got to go back to those previous saves. I won't do it today. I won't put you guys through that. But I've got to go back to a previous save and try drinking all the wines, including the San Royale. That'll be easy enough. But again, I'll do that when we're done here. All right, so let's get the conversation going.
How fares your venerable father?
He seems younger, quite rejuvenated. Abandoning high-level politics seems to have done it. It's as if the very awareness of peace grants him strength, which most likely is the case.
Think he'll keep his word?
I think that depends on me. If he feels I'm up to the task, he'll head out to pasture. Yes.
And if he doesn't?
Then there'll be nothing to stop him from returning. He hasn't ever had a problem changing his mind.
That's the first time I've heard that conversation before. Completely different than the last two times. And Thumper, yeah, completely irresponsible. No other way to put it. I think irresponsible is the nicest way to put it. And then my third primary doctor here wouldn't listen to me. Refused to look into a heart condition I had that turned out to be an over-medication that was easily seen. My cardiologist at Northwestern, she barely said two sentences to me. I said hello. She said, let me look at your chart. Started looking at my chart, looked at my medication list, and immediately diagnosed my heart problem as my being on too high of a dosage of a beta blocker that I was taking for hand tremors, not for heart problems. They had me on 8 times the necessary dose. She dialed down the dose, and within 2 weeks, my heart was fine. Everything was fine. And he also never lifted a finger to check into my weight gain, because I was gaining weight. He never said a word about it. The closest he came to talking to me about my weight gain was saying, with his back to me, we've got to get you moving more. That was it. That was as far as the conversation went. And so I remember when I fired him, I was deathly sick. I had bronchitis. I get bronchitis if I get the flu or a bad cold, and especially now with my lungs as shut as they are. It always happens. It's once you've had bronchitis once, you know what it is. And I called and I said, look, I'm this symptom, they're all happening. I need you guys to call this in to the pharmacy, please, so I can get this behind me. And they said, no, you have to come in. I couldn't drive. I was coughing so much. She could barely hear me on the phone. I was coughing so much. They still said I had to come in, and I said, that's it. You guys are gone. You're out of here. And I said, you're fired. And I started going to Northwestern. I don't know where the scar came from, Ray. It's from some fight. I don't know where. And she didn't have it when we were first training, when she was younger. But she's not technically a witcher. She didn't go through the trial of grasses to give her the mutations. But she has learned all the sword play. So she's an incredible swords. Let me just say it, swordsman. Better than Geralt in some ways. And she has the powers available to her as being the last of the Elder Blood, where she can blink in and out and do quick strikes on multiple enemies. And she can also dash very quickly from one spot in the fight to another and get in a quick strike and then dash out of the way before she can be hit again. She's excellent with a sword. But no, not technically not a witcher. Although there is an ending where she becomes a witcher. Asthma. Maybe now I do, Ray. Maybe now I do. I don't, but not before. But now with my lungs as shut as they are, maybe I would have asthma. Not sure. I have an inhaler for that. I do brio every morning, and then I have a steroid inhaler for emergent situations.
Preparations for the coronation coming along?
Not at all. I told him I'm in no hurry. I must see what the whole thing's about first. Acquaint myself with the Empire's institutions, laws, and so forth.
No pressure from Emir to speed things along?
He tried. But I told him I wished to be a good ruler, a strong ruler, not some puppet.
No one else in the world he'd give in to like that.
I had nothing to do with that. There's just no one else in the world who's his daughter. Speaking of which, as the future Empress, I could secure you a comfortable position as court witcher.
Thanks, but just not my thing, that. My place is on the path.
I know. Still, had to try.
Hate to stop this conversation, but that's as far as we can go.
See you later, Ciri.
Take care of yourself.
All right, so we've got to go back down to our room.
You spread some nastiness to me.
Oh, that's not very kind of you. You're fired. Here, how do you like that? How do you like that nastiness? You're out on your own, buddy.
And what do you get for all that work? A cook in
Oh, there were stairs on the other side, too. Oh, I went past them. Alright, so, first things first, let's get into the room. And let's change out that poster. There we go. Much more to my liking. Let's put the other one in my stash here, along with the other stuff. Let's see. Ah, I get to keep my prisoner clothes. Ha! 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 Didn't expect that. Did not expect that. I'll put those in the stash. I don't want them hanging around. Put that in the stash. All right. Let's see, was that everything? Yeah, it's everything. All right. So let's look at what Regis left us. All right. For those of you who weren't here before, it's a long letter. Since Regis is so valuable, I'll just give you the basics of it. This thing's called a muta-generator, and it acquires electromagical energy waves from bodies, monsters, and humans that I've killed. And when it has absorbed enough so as to be charged with a critical amount, it changes the stored energy into a greater mutagen, which are things that I use to make myself stronger or better in battle, things like that, which I suspect you'll make good use of. It's also random. You can't choose which one it'll turn it into, but he says that it seems to alternate between red, blue, and green, or red, blue, and green, red, or blue, I should say. It seems to alternate, so there's that. So there's that, and we'll take it. And we will save it here. All right, now let us see if I still have the saves from Hearts of Stone. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Let's see. I'm doing it the hard way here. Oh. Wait a minute. this? I don't know what that is. That looks like that's in Skellige. Yeah, that's in Skellige. Okay, so that's before it. Okay, that's the end of the main chapter. Orwell the Smitten Knight. Koja Foe. Wine Wars. Shoot. Hang on a second, I'm a little lost. I'm a little lost. Nope, that's all. That's all that. Where is, I don't believe I've deleted them. Yeah, I have. I have. They're all gone. Well, sorry about that, folks. I promised you something that I'm afraid I cannot deliver upon. They are not to be had. I'll have to do that when I go back. The elves aren't all gone yet, but they will be. They will be. Let me see something here real quickly. Oh, I can do Hearts of Stone only. Okay, I didn't think of that. Yeah, you can do that. Alright, well, I'll do that on my own then. Alright, so good. So we're... Okay, well, folks, we're done. Again, I do apologize for not being able to give you what I promised, but... man can't do what a man can't do. Screw up on my part. All right. So, yeah, Raise M&E. I wish I could have given you more of a show. Bad timing. But again, folks, Tuesday. Remember, tomorrow we're installing fiber internet. So no show, morning or afternoon. Tuesday I will be back 8 a.m. sharp, Eastern time, 8 a.m. For the beginning of the Far Cry 5 playthrough. I also have Far Cry, I keep forgetting what it's called. Hang on just a second. New Dawn. Far Cry New Dawn. I have that, so we'll be able to play that as well. I don't know a lot, really very much about it right now. I guess it's a standalone, but I'll have to look into that. But we'll play that after we play the main game. And we'll have all that. And then I'm thinking... seriously about, oh gosh, hang on a second, I had the thought earlier today and I had completely forgotten. Shoot, what was I going to play? Darn it, I was really excited when I thought of it too, and now Half-Life 2. Half-Life 2, that's it, yeah, I've got to write that down so I don't forget. I have that on my Steam profile, and I got hung up years ago, and walked away from it, and then quit playing because I got hung up in flight simulators, flying jets, and blowing things up, and just stopped playing games until very recently when I got back into PC games. But but we will be back Tuesday morning, 8 a.m. And for those of you who care to, every Monday through Friday at 4 p.m. Eastern, I have what we call the News Rodeo, which is news and commentary from, as I put it, the right side of the barbed wire. And as you can guess, I never pass up a bit of Texas news. But we do have fun. There's 2 hours for the show. The first hour only, pardon me, let me back up. YouTube only gets the first hour of the show because there's stuff that I want to do that YouTube has a hard time allowing without censoring or outright yanking your channel. So YouTube gets the low-key part of the show, while Trovo and DLive get both halves of the show. And the second part of the show we call the after show. And again, that's on Trovo and DLive. And then each day I upload the second half of the show exclusively to my Gab TV account. And we've got that. So I will see you all on the backside of our brand new fiber installation. This has been a long road. We've been doing this a very long time, since April, if I'm not mistaken. We started playing Witcher 3 back in April. So until the next time, my good friends, be well, God bless. Happy trails. Signing off, but for only one day. I'll be back real soon. Bye-bye.